Hey all, before we get started, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down here and hit the notification bell for upcoming interviews. And if you like the channel and you want to support us, you can do that on our Patreon page by clicking on the link here.
Jobs. I worked in a theater company on 42nd Street, and I remember I used to pass the caricature artists, there and just kind of dream.
Mm-hmm.
I also worked on a side note, I also worked as a 911 operator in New York City. But I used to watch the caricature artists and dream, and I went to work for the police department as a 911 operator. And when one of the mayors, and that was a job actually that I really liked. I didn't think that I would, And so I forgot about art entirely. And then when the new mayor got into office, he started downsizing the department with people who had a certain amount of time in, and my job got downsized. And so now I got desperate. I said, okay, I really need a job now. And so I'm going back to 42nd Street to my other job, that I had, before, for the theater company. And I passed this caricature artist, and his name is Kenley Dillard. And Kenley Dillard was the first black caricature artist that I had ever seen on 42nd Street. If you go to 42nd Street, even now, it's inundated with Chinese caricature artists. Okay, you could say they own in 42nd Street. I know that because I remember trying to set up one time, and I almost got assaulted. They're very aggressive about their space. But Kenley was there. Kenley and another artist named Lewis.
Were there permits issued for that?
Yeah. You have to have permits, but there are a lot of caricature outlaws there who just set up. He said, "Hey, listen, the police can't be everywhere at all the time, and I gotta eat."
Yeah, and I'm sure that they don't. That's the very last of their list of things to do in New York City is to go settle a dispute between a black and Chinese caricature artist.
Although I have to say, they would pick out me and Kenley because in a sea of yellow faces, then you have these two black ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember asking an officer, how come you don't harass the Chinese artists like this? You think there's too many of them, you can't tell them apart.
Wow.
That's literally what the guy said.
What year was this? Like what time was this?
Oh, this was 80s.
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s, So anyway, I'm walking down the street and I see this caricature artist, and so I start talking to him. And I said, yeah, I can draw caricatures a little. And he told me to sit down and draw them. And so I drew him, and it was okay. And then he drew me. And he drew me in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was phenomenal because it took me about 10 minutes to draw him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he drew me, I said what everybody says, that doesn't look like me. It's the first thing that I said. It doesn't look like me. And I knew, and it looked exactly like me.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't have it.
Oh.
It looked exactly like me. And so I went to my interview, and then hoping that when I came out of the interview, he was still there. And then he was still there when I came back and we began to talk. And I said, I'd really, really, like to do this, and started asking him a million questions. And he answered every one. And then he gave me an invitation. He says, listen, he said, I'm out here, every day. Why don't you come out tomorrow, and do this, And so the next day I came out, and there he was. And after that, we struck up a friendship, and he literally mentored me for nothing. And I will always be grateful to Kenley because I was his competition.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught me everything, he taught me what to buy. He taught me who to watch out for. He taught me, how to get customers, what paper to use, what markers, were best, and I mean, he literally taught me everything, about street caricature from the ground up. And so what we ended up doing, we ended up forming a partnership because we both had outgoing personalities. But unlike most people who have outgoing personalities, we didn't compete with each other. Our personalities complemented each other. So since we were African American artists, a lot of people, a lot of people would shy away from us. They didn't want to be drawn by us because they see a lot of these Chinese artists out there, and they would see two black guys out there. And I think on some level they must have thought there's got to be some kind of scam, and
Huh.
I don't. I'm not going to run the race card because it was unusual to see two black artists out there. And so I said, we need to do something to attract people's attention, and make them feel at ease. And bottom line is we want customers. And so sometimes I would dance. I would dance
Yeah?
till I could pop. The popping.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I would
I
do
mean,
that.
you can give us a demonstration now if you want.
Oh, wait, I don't know if we can see it. I don't know if you can see this. Just a simple kind of way. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I don't know if you can
We
see
get
that.
some music
You know
going.
that maybe get some music. You know.
Did you do it? Did you dance with music on the street?
Oh yeah, there's always music on 42nd Street.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah. So there's music there. I mean,
Underdog? Were you dancing to
yeah.
Underdog?
Well, no, look, it wasn't like I'm tap dancing like the minstrel show or something like that. Just kind of, moving to the beat, popping occasionally. Because people in New York, that's part of the whole tourist scene. They stop the dancers,
Uh-huh.
and they stop to watch them, and they say, they see guy, caricature artist, caricature artist, caricature artist, caricature artist dancing. What's going on here?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So they see that, and be attracted to what we, were doing. And also, we had things that we would just shout out and say to them. Most of the other artists would sit down and just be quiet,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and not say anything and wait for the customer to kind of come over, and then they would just sit down,
Uh-huh.
and be drawn. What Kenley and I would do, we would talk to them and say, "Hey, you're a tourist, right? This is what you came to New York for. You came to New York to have fun. This is the fun. This
Yeah.
is what fun looks like. If you go back to Ohio or Walla Walla, Washington, or whatever you're from, you can say with confidence to your family members, I had fun. This
Here's my
is it.
receipt.
This is it. I had fun, and people would laugh, and we would always engage them, in conversation. And as we were drawing, we would keep talking to
Uh-huh.
them. And in my case, I guess maybe being a sociology major and psychology major, you know, I found out that when you would talk to people, they would open up to you and tell you the innermost secrets of their heart. Yeah, I'm really serious. People would go on about their marriages, about their relationships. We talk about politics and life and everything, and it became a relaxing kind of thing. It was important to me um, when I drew people, to I would tell my students this. I said, I don't draw the face. I said, I draw the personality. I said, yeah, I said, it's a hard concept to grasp a hold of. I said, but when I talk to a person and I get a sense of who they are and what they're feeling, I can draw them a lot easier. I said, I draw that and it comes out and it comes across in the drawing. I said, sometimes the quote unquote physical likeness doesn't have to be as strong as I think it has to be. But if I draw the personality, they're going to recognize it as them,
Hmm.
and all the little facial tics and expressions come out, as you're talking to them. And I would watch for that, and I would say, if they do something with their eyebrow or with their lip, more than once, I know that it's a facial tic or a habit that they have, and so
Yeah.
I would clue in, on that, and that's what I did.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see the full interview, you can see it here. Be sure to subscribe here, and if you'd like to support us on Patreon, we would really appreciate that. It will help keep the channel going. You can do that here. Also, if you have any suggestions, critiques on the interview, or any guests or topics that you would like us to make videos on, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, and happy painting!